Everyone has their own personal version of their hometown. Well, I grew up in a town called Tonasket, so this is my Tonasket. Let's start off with the first house I lived in. My family rented for about 2 or 3 years, and at one point our backyard was home to the tallest tree in town. It has now been cut. Up the hill from that house are the schools. Tonasket Elementary School, where my father was my principal, Tonasket Middle School, and Tonasket High School. And I went to the elementary school and middle school. Over by the schools is the youth center, where I went for Boy Scouts for about 6 years in a row. Down the hill from the school and the youth center, going into town a little bit, we have a house that's owned by the church and used by the EMTs. My father is an EMT, and I can recall many EMT Christmas parties in that house, and the ambulances were stored in the station on the lot next door. Down into town, we have the chiropractic clinic where my father and I used to go. I was 11 my first time. My back ain't that good. Going through town and towards the water and bridge will bring you to the soccer fields. And I also spent many days and hours here playing soccer as a kid. And in the soccer fields we have the skate park. Now, I was never one to skateboard, but my friends and I liked hanging out in the bowl and trying to get out. The one time, my sister and I acted as patients for an EMT exercise in the skate park. Moving towards the other side of town, we have the park. This was home to several school field trips and many hot summer days. With the community pool, I was never a fan of swimming, but when it got really hot, it wasn't too bad. As you start to go up the hill on the other side of town, we have this spot where my bus driver once yelled at some teenagers for driving when they should have stopped for the bus, and it really freaked them out. That was great. Up the hill more, we have the Free Methodist Church, where I used to go for youth group. And finally, we end on the house that my family and I lived in from 2008 to 2012. This one my parents actually owned, and you can see it in a lot of my early YouTube videos. Now, I really liked that house, but definitely the view from our driveway was amazing. We were way up on a hill, so we could see over the entire valley and the whole town. When football games would go on at the school, you could see the lights from our driveway. Honestly, I could go on a monologue about 100 different places around town. But for now, I hope you liked scratching the surface of getting to know my Tonasket.
Choo choo.